Okay, it's a nice day. We changed the location. So we are back here, and today, as you can see, we have a new setup. We hope it's looking good and beautiful, so that you can like our videos more. Yeah. Meanwhile, we are resuming our conversations on artificial intelligence and other aspects of life. As you know, we've been looking at STEM courses, the different careers, what we try to see artificial intelligence and how the future looks like in terms of affecting our jobs or creating more opportunities. The last session, for those who have not watched, two parallel perspectives on artificial intelligence and the future of jobs was very heated. I was discussing or debating with Amos here, and we hope you liked it. Give us your feedback so that we know what to give more. So today, with our new setup and with your feedback, of course, we decided to delve deeper into STEM courses and the jobs before we move to something else. So we want to see if we can help you to understand which courses are good with the future for the advancements in AI, which careers are good to look at for those learners or students who are just coming out of high school or O-level and they are thinking of what can I study. We want to look at it in detail to see if it helps. Of course, these are just based on predictions. We might be 80 or 95% accurate. Therefore, that means we have a chance of not giving the exact thing that might be true in the next 5, 10, 20 years. Everyone is predicting. No one should lie to you that they are perfect. Even the tech guys who are developing, they also have their own misunderstandings, arguments, varying perspectives of how the future of AI will look like and how it will affect our lives. In fact, that's the reason why we were debating hard and arguing a lot about the two perspectives that already exist.
Yeah.
We have those who are optimistic and those who are pessimistic that it will be a disaster. So let's see. Stanley, you're back after many engagements, of course, still related to our work. Our banner is hidden in the trees behind. When you see one of us is not present, they are engaged with the company's activities somewhere else. But anyway, so let's see. I think we can pick from where we had left about STEM courses. Some harsh feedback came in and said we were shallow in trying to analyze the STEM courses and how it can help to understand artificial intelligence and maybe help us to survive the future. But you look at STEM courses well, and I'll be happy if we can discuss in detail. Of course, we need to look at the STEM courses that will survive and will help us to develop artificial intelligence for our own benefit as humanity. But we also have another dynamic that is emerging. Most of the STEM courses, like if I was looking at the statistics, the Kenyan statistics on the performance of mathematics, high school mathematics, KCSE, Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education, only 0.14% of learners got an A.
Yeah.
And it's very interesting that was an improvement, the best ever improvement recorded in mathematics in the history of KCSE. So if we have less than 0.5% of learners getting A, and then I of course went further to check those who got A minus, which is close to A, to some extent just an A, it was coming to 0.8%. So that means,
so it's around 1 point something, 1.3, 1.3.
I think it's 0.9% A and A minus.
Oh, so you said it's 0.05 or 0.5?
No, those who got A's, it was 0.14.
14. Oh. Whew.
And then and then those who got
A
A minus
above.
0.8.
So
So
that's
if you take as
Around
0.94.
around 0.9, let's give it a
1%.
0. Let's give it 1%.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to tell us STEM courses.
Yeah.
STEM courses starts with science, technology, mathematics. So mathematics is part of it. And if you're taking any science, math is fundamentally part of it.
Yeah.
So what are we telling our young people? Should we force them to like things that maybe natural they are not for them?
Yeah, I wouldn't actually say force them. I will just prefer saying encourage them.
How can you encourage, like, mathematics is hard?
That's one thing. That's one thing. That's one thing that we really
Not a
need to
mentality.
to
No,
change.
it's
Yeah, we
not
need
a
to
mentality.
change.
Maybe I said it wrong.
Yeah.
They say men or the male gender is likely to perform well in these STEM courses, and that's been proven scientifically. And then women or the female gender is likely to perform well in those human biology. That's why
Yeah.
so many of them go into nursing.
Yeah, but you know, these are just descriptive figures. They're not figures which are based on causality. Yeah, because if you try to factor everything in that understanding, you'll come to realize that there's something more. There's something more that comes into play when it comes to let's say like the different genders being interested in something. Yeah, because I know of we do have very talented ladies, girls who have done so much. Yeah,
Have done good
in tech.
in tech,
Yeah,
yes.
in this STEM courses, because like the lady who was among the people who came up with the CRISPR technology, the one which was used to prepare the vaccines that we used during the COVID time. It was a lady who was able to decipher how bacterias operate.
It's true, but
Yeah,
by
yeah.
proportion,
Yeah.
male are more inclined to go into tech courses.
Yeah.
We have more male engineers than
Yeah.
female. So we
Yeah.
have extremes where you can find a lady who is so good in as an engineer,
Yeah.
and at the same time you'll find a very good nurse who is a male.
Who's a male, yeah.
So we have those extremes.
Yeah, yeah.
But to a large extent,
general.
in general, we're
Yeah.
saying female gender are more likely to go into those nursing courses.
Yeah.
And then now here we're talking about STEM.
Yeah, but if you try to bring the issue of correlation into this equation, there are things about there are those characteristics about males and those ones about females that make them more inclined to take with those courses that you're referring to.
Exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
because you know, men by nature we tend to be very adventurous and risk takers.
We like things.
We like exploring very dangerous things and
Yeah.
very new things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and ladies, they are more of caring. They have the caring personality.
Yeah.
So they tend to prefer things that help them to care more about people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's why we have that discrepancy. But I think on top of all that, I think that we have to work on also encouraging people, because I see like most people, even if you look at your life when you're growing up, you didn't have this environment where you're so much encouraged to pursue particular subjects when
Yeah.
you're studying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was upon you to just go and discover what you like, and sometimes you just do things because you just want to please your parents or please the teachers.
I think when I
Yeah.
was taking statistics,
Yeah.
I was asked by my parents,
Yeah.
particularly my dad, quite a strict man,
Yeah.
that where will this take you?
Yeah.
Because no one in my whole locality,
Has done.
we know no one who has done
Exactly.
statistics.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, it looks like it has a lot of mathematics and I like mathematics, so
Yeah.
I'll go for it.
Yeah.
He wanted me to be a lawyer.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
so you're saying it's the element of encouragement.
I know that one plays a big, a very huge
Yeah,
role. Yeah.
I also tend to think that because you know, in the near past, it's like women. I don't know if they were taking themselves or in the society which was like putting this that they are a bit weak, and then I think some of them, not all of them, take advantage of that and think women are soft people, they can only do law, they can only be nurses. But I don't think that is because we have been with women in classes, and
Yeah.
they are
Yeah.
equally competitive as men. So it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they can't reason out or become engineers. But maybe before, just maybe we look deeper into these STEM courses and why we are encouraging people to take these STEM courses.
Yeah.
If you look at, let's say, companies like Microsoft, Google, maybe Facebook, they are tech companies,
Yeah. True.
and they are equally worried about this technology that is coming in. Like the other time, Microsoft, Google was launching Gemini to counter ChatGPT brought by OpenAI. And now it's even becoming even more competitive. And when competition comes in, you realize things will work even much faster than we are thinking. There is this Anthropic. You have heard of
I've heard of Anthropic, yeah.
Anthropic is even a threat to OpenAI. Because you see, even the funny thing with Anthropic is the founder of Anthropic, that is Daro Amodei and the sibling Daniela Amodei. They were working. They are former workers of OpenAI.
Yeah.
So they kinda went and created Anthropic. So Anthropic March 1st, this month, they released Cloud 3 AI. And you see, Cloud 3 is even more powerful. Actually, to me, I think OpenAI is threatened, because if you are following through, you realize the OpenAI had approached Daro Amodei, the founder of Anthropic, to come and be a partner of OpenAI, and so that they could fire Sam Altman, because they feel like Sam Altman is not performing as such. So the reason why we are encouraging these STEM courses is because of how this tech is going, because it's going very fast. And if we don't encourage our people to take these STEM courses, we might not catch up with how because at the moment we cannot live in that, or live with that can I call it silo mentality, where you are not giving your people information on what they are supposed to do or how this tech is coming in. So to me, I think women are just equally competitive like men. We just need to encourage from a very early stage, like if it's because sometimes
But
also
if I may get your opinion, because we really wanted, because what Elias had addressed is something that I also really wanted to hear your opinions about. Is what do you think is the problem that is leading to very high, very low performance when it comes to these subjects that are very critical in the pursuing of these STEM
STEM
courses? Yeah.
Yeah, I think the problem starts early in age, because I can partly blame some teachers for some subjects, these science subjects. Prove me wrong if I am, because you will find a teacher is not even encouraging the students to do that particular subject he or she is administering. In fact, some teachers make the subject look even tougher, even much tougher, because there were some teachers in our institutions, they could tell you cannot do better in math. I know you are very weak in math. But they tell some students. But if you encourage a person from a very young age, especially now that we have like this academic system like CBC, you nurture someone from very early age, and even the teachers need to be more like lively when they are teaching these subjects, not teach them like this is a very hard thing someone cannot grasp, because to me that is
Yeah.
the major problem. And you see, if I can tell you for free, if for example in our institutions here in Kenya,
Yeah.
if mathematics was an optional subject,
Yeah, people could opt out.
it would be
very, very
the,
easily.
the worst scenario we could ever experience.
yeah.
Because
And that's very unfortunate.
because of that mentality,
Yeah.
and the lack of that encouragement thing.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think it's supposed to come from very early age.
Yeah.
From because you will find some people who performed well even in primary, when they transition to O level or high school, they underperform in the same subject.
Yeah,
Does
yeah.
it mean that they don't have an understanding of that subject or something happened along the way? So to me, there is no enough motivation to encourage students to take these subjects seriously.
That's true. That's true.
Just in a minute.
Yeah.
That is a good introduction to this conversation.
Yeah.
And maybe moving forward, I would like us to look at three main practitioners: the developer of these AI, the user, and the big tech companies who are leading innovations in this area of artificial intelligence. But
Yeah.
of course, all that is in line with STEM courses. Yeah.
Elias, I do believe that we need to also like talk about this STEM courses issue, because I still believe like we have still left a lot of
We
stones
are even
unturned.
yet to
Yeah.
start.
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
Let's look at it in detail.
Yeah.
When you're talking of STEM courses, for those who don't understand, you might just hear STEM and you know of stem of a tree.
Yeah.
STEM is science, technology, mathematics, and
Engineering, mathematics. Yeah, yeah.
Engineering and
For you to go into STEM courses, for those who are still in high school,
Yeah.
you need to pass, let's say, chemistry, biology, physics, and mathematics. Of course, math is a science, it's a math.
Yeah.
So everything is founded on those science courses. And I was thinking about it and wondering, are we just biased towards STEM courses because the whole world is not all about STEM?
Yeah. So
But now,
yeah.
we can look at that, but in detail,
Yeah.
these STEM courses. So what?
Actually, maybe I just let our viewers understand something. The reason why we want to discuss this topic and exhaust it. Okay, we can't exhaust it because it's very huge.
Yeah.
But the reason why we find it important to discuss in this series of conversations that we are having about AI, STEM courses they are very important courses.
Foundation of developing these tools.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also you see like the entire world is being like largely controlled by this by people who are specialized in these courses.
Yeah.
A country like America, they do have like an entire hub which they call Silicon Valley, where people go and create technologies that they distribute to the entire world. And these are the technologies which these companies, they're the ones which bring a lot of revenue for this country.
Yeah, like if you look at an example of
Yeah.
NVIDIA, we were talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
NVIDIA off
yeah,
camera.
yeah.
It's valued at $2 trillion.
More than $2 trillion.
US dollars.
Yeah.
That's calculating. That looks like Kenyan economy for 150 years to come ahead. If we paid salaries, we steal part of the money.
Yeah.
We do everything.
Yeah.
For the next 150 years, one company alone.
Just one company.
Yeah.
So you imagine if they have 100 in the Silicon Valley,
Exactly.
then that's
Yeah.
massive.
We have Facebook, we
Yeah.
have Amazon.
Yeah.
And you know these companies because we have interacted with these
Yeah,
companies.
yeah.
And these companies, they've been built by people who are specialized in STEM courses.
Yeah, even countries like, you cannot live behind China.
You cannot live
China.
yeah.
China has a hub also.
Yeah.
To develop. In fact, for something like Huawei. Huawei, they say, has a whole story building with just research on tech.
Yeah.
So and companies like even South Korea and Also Germany. You've been to Germany.
Yeah.
We talked about Taiwan, whether it's a country or not, but
Yeah.
they are also doing massive things.
Yeah,
In the AI.
Yeah.
Now, just this week, I was reading some parliamentary proceedings for Singapore. They are planning to invest approximately 20 million Singaporean dollars towards facilitating advancements in AI, and part of that is to encourage those who are in their careers 40 years and above to go and upskill. Let's say if you are a data analyst, you go and gain more skills in machine learning, in artificial intelligence, so you understand what AI is, or even being an AI engineer, or reskilling. Let's say you are someone who did social sciences. Let's say you did a Bachelor of Science Physics, and then your physics is tech anyway. Let's pick something like you did business management, and then they are telling you need to reskill. This will not take you anywhere with AI.
Yeah.
So they're telling you, we are giving you funding so that you go to school. We are funding you, even though you are working for us as a government in the public sector, but we want you to reskill, get new skills in data science, in data analysis, in artificial intelligence, so that you understand what is happening. And they are putting a lot of money to facilitate this. So other governments, particularly in developed countries, are already talking of funding these courses and programs in artificial intelligence, or the STEM itself.
Yeah.
How about in our context?
Yeah, in the Kenyan context now.
We are lagging
In
behind.
the Kenyan context, we are far much lagging behind, because even the support itself to these STEM courses, like let me just ask, maybe out of your 10 friends, how many are doing something like maybe computer science? The ones you know. So you'll find it's a few. So I think the government is not kind of encouraging, especially these STEM courses. And to me also, most students who are in high school do not have a lot of or right information on what do I want to do after high school. Because as I say, this thing is supposed to be nurtured from early stage. If you don't have information, you can't do, because the way Elias said, his father asked him, if someone has not done statistics or programming from this village, where do you think you're going to work with it? So you see that kind of mentality, that since somebody in the village has done education, everyone around should do education,
because they know that's how
that's
the sign of success.
The easy way out of poverty.
Yes, you see, that is now the problem we have: information. Because in these other countries, like I think in China, even, because I was seeing a certain video of very young boys in China creating this phone. In fact, they say these phones we use here in Kenya, some of them are created by very young boys in China. So they start at very young age because they have information. Information is attained from school, right, from very early age. So for us, I think number one, we need maybe the government support to start in giving information. I don't know if that will help.
I don't know about the government, but maybe we can discuss about this. And I don't want to make it a debate, because these are very important and critical factors. First of all of us should understand these tech courses, they are naturally difficult. Even as we're saying, we encourage, in the population, we normally say the population is normal.
Do you think
it's normal population?
Why are you saying they're naturally difficult?
Because they are.
That statement is subject to discussion.
Are you not biased?
I'm not biased. That's true. Wherever you go,
you can't say it's true.
It's not proven.
You can say you believe it's.
No.
Yeah.
I think I have not explored literature on the distribution of people in tech, but I understand it's even if you go to US or wherever, the population that is taking these tech courses and those that are doing tech careers, it's always small. And therefore, we would say if you draw a normal distribution, they are in the extremes.
Yeah, but you can't just say it's naturally difficult, because for me, you see, like when I was in high school, a subject like history it was more difficult for me compared to mathematics.
How many people are taking history and how many people are taking geography in your high school?
The number was small for history. The number was small.
I can say, you see, difficult is relative.
It's relative. It depends on somebody.
It depends with you can't say it's difficult.
And the fact that
that's why that's the mentality we want
to abolish.
No, it's not mentality.
Because if you go to a high school and tell these students this tech course is
naturally difficult.
It's naturally difficult. Then, someone will say, why should I go and do something difficult? So I don't think
I'm trying to introduce another perspective, and now this is slightly going into a debate.
Yeah.
The fact is, if we look at our statistic course, we were around 75. Yes. We started around 120, and the way we talked before, some dropped. We remain around 75 to 65.
Yeah.
You work in a Bachelor of Education, Kiswahili and Business.
Yeah.
More than 500 students in a hall.
Yeah, but Elias, what you're missing is that you're talking about our class in its own context alone. You haven't gone to other classes and
that's true all over.
Yeah. Because also, I know of other students who changed from let's say like an educational course and they took a technical course. So it happens.
But you look at the proportion of those who are switching from statistics to other courses. Yeah, it's true. Difficulty is relative.
Yeah, it's relative.
It's true. Difficulty is relative.
Yeah.
There's some of us who were born with let me call it a talent, the ability to handle mathematics without even revising. I remember the last two topics in Form 5, I'm the one who taught.
You became a teacher.
Yeah, I became a teacher. So, not so many people pass these tech or rather STEM courses because there are so many factors. Of course, it's a multivariate, let's say, a model. A multivariate model in that, let's say, mathematics, male gender is more likely to pass math and science courses, chemistry, and it's evident even if you check the KCSE results in 2023, 23, and even earlier years. Just starting at that point. And I was trying to give an example of our statistics course. We were only 75, or let me say we were not more than 130. And then you go in another course like education, Bachelor of Education, Kiswahili and some business, or you realize it's a class of 800 learners. You go in an engineering class, you find 2 ladies or 3 and 20 gentlemen. So, I mean, I'm trying to take the gender aspect, but there are more factors because maybe it's biologically true. And I strongly believe it's true because I've followed some podcasts on the same. They are quoting some scientific literature. So, what we're saying is these courses, that's what I was trying to say. Naturally, they are not easy. I say naturally they are difficult, but naturally they are not easy for a better part of the population. So you find if you're looking at a normal curve on the extremes, this one will even be a skewed curve because majority will be failing and only a small proportion will be passing. Now, are we encouraging, pushing people to take these STEM courses, or the way Singapore is looking at it? We have the users. So what the government of Singapore is looking at right now is how can you teach users to use AI? Let's take it simple. How can you use ChatGPT to develop an essay? Of course, it's easy to give it a command, but is that an appropriate way to use it? There is a better way you can use to improve your own productivity. Let's say you read, you develop an essay, or let's say a speech, and then you furnish it with your own customized or in your own way, your personal experience, you furnish it with personal experience. So instead of spending 1 hour writing a speech, ChatGPT has helped you to develop it in 3 seconds or 1 second. You've used 10 minutes to include your own experiences, and then that has improved your productivity. So it's an element of the users now know how to use AI tools.
Yeah,
The
appropriately.
developers or people in tech courses, what we're saying is you must know how AI works. So they are talking of AI proficient and AI deficient guys in tech. So if you are, so it's no longer a worry about AI replacing me, but someone who is AI proficient replacing me for being AI deficient. AI deficient is that I'm in the tech industry, but I don't know anything about how AI works.
Yeah. Because I was reading something about someone like is it radiologist? So it was saying like a radiologist who is using AI to interpret those, you see, X-rays and all those results, will replace a radiologist who is just using basic knowledge, their basic knowledge
and what they read in papers.
And what they read in papers to interpret that. But coming back to this issue of STEM, because I think we are still there. I agree with you. You would find a class of education it's flooded and has so many students as compared to
it's sad that we are unable to control that.
In fact, even one class of education in CR, it was like a whole school of SPAS.
Yeah,
that is applied science.
You remember sociology when you went to a class and Otiato came and said, "I brought you a cat."
So the thing is, we must accept as a country we have been slightly backward in matters tech, and this is the reason behind us experiencing these problems of people not having to take these STEM courses, because as we said, most of our parents in the villages knew that if you do a course like just law, education, maybe if you go far, it's because accounting, and maybe doctor was like the biggest thing.
Everyone dreams of being a doctor.
Yes, people were talking about becoming a doctor. And that is the reason behind you see most people taking these other courses as opposed, because I believe there are people who passed well in mathematics, but because of the influence from the village, like there is a guy I know who was very smart in mathematics when we are here in KU, but the guy was doing education. Why? Because the father is a teacher. The mother is a teacher, the sister is a teacher. So what is the influence?
It's a guarantee that you will get a job.
Yes, it's a guarantee that it's the easiest way of getting a job. Then another thing, the reason why I agree with Amos that there is not much encouragement. You see, for the few who have done the STEM courses, they are engineers, civil engineers you know of, mechanical engineers you know of, who are just
loitering the streets.
Loitering on the streets.
Looking for jobs.
Here in Kenya, looking for jobs. And that's where the encouragement, but there is a teacher who is employed. They are earning something, so you can't even compare this teacher to a civil engineer who doesn't have a job. So the point goes back to this encouragement from early stage, and then after that, what measures are we putting in place to ensure that these guys who are coming from these STEM courses get jobs or get absorbed into the market and have something to do?
Before you add something, and I would like to pose another question that will form the next conversation. As you contribute to this, part of this we're saying there is no information. So the question will come is, who is responsible for giving us information? We live in the age of information. Information, you can get it with a tap on your phone. You can quickly check, what does it take me to do civil engineering?
Or
Are we waiting for the government to come and feed us information? Now, in related to that, we're talking of the government is lagging behind. And we know some of our governments don't act so well. We have people who are not qualified serving in different ministries. You look at an example of UAE, they have a minister of artificial intelligence and remote working. So it's like a government of experts, not a government of quacks who employ experts to work. But just a government itself is already made of experts who can already foresee the future. They are having conversation with these tech guys and telling them, asking them, what should we expect and how should we structure our own curriculum? Whom should we train? Where should we invest our money? So my question goes back to, if we understand, let's say we as study analytics understand this is what it takes. Do we have a role as practitioners to inform the government, or are we waiting for the government to call us and inform? So where should action start?
Yeah.
And on the aspect of information and encouragement, should we also blame the government, or we also have a duty to play in getting the right information as public? Because if you can access TikTok, it means you can access internet.
Yeah, so there are so many things that we have discussed, and I have to respond to all that.
Yes, you can respond to some.
Yeah, I can respond to the ones which I can remember correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, so you really are insisting upon the idea that these STEM courses or STEM related courses, they're not they tend to be naturally difficult to people. Yeah, so in a way, I just want to maybe like not exclude your opinion, but try to include it in this discussion, because it will be hubris for me to just say, okay, that's whatever you're saying is a lie. So the fact is that humans, we have evolved just for thousands of years. We have evolved to become these creatures who are just like any other animals, who just want to feed themselves, to procreate, and just live their life. And the most part of our life has been just existing in the wild, just chasing prey, eating, and just and sometimes running away from other animals.
Survival for the fittest.
Survival for the fittest.
Yeah.
Okay, though that term is usually misused.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that has been our life. So our life has not been sitting down and thinking mathematically, just been thinking about food and just food, and maybe procreating.
So when you get food, you're done.
When you get food, you're satisfied. When you engage in sexual activity, you feel okay.
You're in a comfort
zone. That's the comfort area that humans have been living for many years. So the idea of us going to class and learning abstract ideas is the one it's still young in the human history, and it's the one that you're battling with so much. So our brains have not been fully programmed to incorporating these things into our lives. Yeah, so it's a process. But now the reason why we find this topic very important at this moment is because now we are looking at the future of the world and the human species. We are saying that the future is being determined by these STEM courses. Largely, it's being largely determined by these STEM courses. Because if you just ask anybody to give you the companies that run the world, you'll find that all those companies, they're STEM related. They have been built by people who have specialized in STEM courses.
And there are very few.
Yeah.
So that justifies my argument that this is not for everyone.
Yeah, you have that's the other thing that I really wanted us to I wanted to add some points on to. It's the thing is, you do not have a full picture of what goes into all these things, because now you've continually given us the example of our class, which started with a large number of students in the first year. By the time we were finishing the course, we had a very few. The size that decreased. There are so many factors that lead to that. Not just because statistics is hard. Yeah, there are many other factors. Yeah, maybe somebody was promised a job in a health position. So what will he do? He'll just branch off to a health course, or maybe let's say like somebody maybe used some shortcuts to get to campus. Yeah, so if you didn't study hard to get to campus, it's going to be a challenge for you. You're going to struggle.
We can run a model on that to see the significance.
Yeah.
Or the factor.
Yeah.
the significance of different factors that are leading students to
To drop some courses.
That can be a very
Yeah.
nice area to explore.
Yeah, I don't know if I have-
We still have
I don't-
some 3 minutes
Yeah.
before we go for break.
Yeah, so if you fully understand those factors, then you can give a conclusive inference and say that okay, I think STEM courses are just difficult, but you cannot give that on yet, because also the aspect of encouraging students to pursue STEM courses is not being done widely. In a country like Japan, you find that they have these activities, numerous activities that children take part in that help them build this habit of thinking like a scientist, like thinking like an engineer, thinking like a mathematician. If you develop that one into the DNA of our children as they grow up, it will become very automatic for them to pursue these STEM courses,
Yeah.
because now they find it something that they can relate with.
Yeah.
But you have made it look like something that we cannot even relate it. It's something that you cannot even understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of things like, let's say, like how a car works. You people, when they hear you talking about maybe the car parts, they don't want to engage themselves in that discussion, because they think it's a very complicated discussion. But if you make it simple for people to understand and use a welcoming tone, or sort of like a fun way of delivering this information, it will attract more people. And I can give you an example. The best example I can use is for a person who I do follow so much. He's called Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's an astrophysicist. He began a podcast called Star Talk, where he just tries to relay information, knowledge about cosmos. If you start watching his shows, you'll start slowly by slowly getting attracted to that particular course.
But how many people are naturally inclined? I don't know that guy.
Yeah.
I have read a little bit about Cosmos, but
Yeah.
how many people are inclined to follow such kind of conversations? If you
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's a very good question. And the good thing about Neil, what he has done in his show, he has a host. A host is called Chuck Nice. Chuck Nice is a comedian. This is a guy who does in the society. If you're talking about comedians, you're talking about people who don't even want to do anything, studying.
Tech, yeah.
Just studying basically.
yeah.
But by being a co-host in this show,
Yes.
slowly by slowly, he's being attracted, he's being driven towards understanding these things. Because even right now, if you talk to Chuck, he knows so much about cosmos that an average human being does not know. So you see, like, he never knew in his life he's going to understand concepts like black holes, concepts like wormholes, how they work, maybe things like gravity. He thought in his life he will never understand these things,
Yeah.
but now he understands it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you see, there's a culture that we can breed that is going to nurture our minds, or the minds of our children to gravitate towards these courses.
Yeah.
It's our action. And you asked, is it the government that is supposed to deliver this information? The government plays a primary role in this, because the government has to have strategic plans that are going to make this country competitive in the current times and also in the future. Yeah. So a conscious government, a reasonable government, needs to know that investing in STEM courses is not something that you can just fancy about. It's a basic need for a country. It's a basic need.
So before we go for break, I think if there is anyone who follows our podcast and they are close to government, they call to increase the tuition fee for those engineering, STEM courses in general, surgery, pharmacy. They're called human sciences or what? Human sciences. That decision will lead us to be consumers of tech done by other big guys. When you're talking of other countries investing billions of dollars in in STEM courses and developing that area, yet for us we are putting in place measures that will limit the number of people going to the STEM courses, we will only end up being consumers or the users, and we shall be forced to learn how to use AI instead of being the developers of AI. As we go for break, when we come back, I will suggest we delve into, let's say, when they're telling us coding will be done by AI. At the same time, they're saying, you see, guys, computer science is a good course. Because we will now be developing. So what will be the role of these these people in some of these information and communication technology courses, computer science, statistics, data analysis, data science. What will they do, and how can we get people there?
Okay.
And what are the other options? Because it's true, mathematics is hard.
Okay.
Before we went for break, we had talked about this. We had introduced the STEM courses. I was listening to conversation by Jensen. Jensen is Jensen Huang. Is the
CEO of
CEO
NVIDIA.
and founder of NVIDIA. NVIDIA is one of the big companies. We already mentioned it's worth $2 trillion.
Yeah.
So he was saying in future courses like not really courses but careers like farming,
Yeah.
farming and human sciences will be worth more than let's say IT. Because with IT, I can generate a code completely. I don't know much about what IT guys do, but just taking as an example, because I know coding is quite difficult, and that's maybe to a large extent what happens in these IT courses.
Yeah.
So he's saying AI tools will be able to do this. We should start to do farming. People should go more into nursing, more into, let's say, participating in the process of discovery of medicines. He was very specific that in the human sciences we talk of discovery of a new treatment, discovery of medicine, but in the engineering sector we talk of engineering, or we talk of manufacturing, or we talk of invention, but we never invent. In the human sciences, we discover.
Yeah, it's more discovery.
So I don't know if this remains true, even as we encourage people to go into STEM courses, take computer science, for those who will manage mathematics, statistics. How about the others as well? So we can talk about all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have raised quite a number of things, but maybe before I dive into that, I want to just maybe, because you said in our previous talk, you asked who is responsible for giving this information to people.
Yeah.
And I heard you mention, why don't you use your phone to just get information? So I want to just relate someone who is in somewhere in Garissa, in the eastern part of Kenya, a student who is there, very good in mathematics, does not even have a phone. In fact, there is a small village here in Kibwezi. That village does not even have internet connection. And yeah, let me just diverge a bit. I heard in the last podcast, Amos saying we have already explored the world enough for AI.
I strongly argued
No,
against
it was a different context.
We can bring it back.
I'm just trying to say that. And I didn't totally agree with him, because we have not explored the world sufficiently, because of such cases where people do not have internet in some places. They can make.
You don't understand what explore means. You
You
don't understand what explore means.
Because explore means those people need to have access.
That's not exploring.
Because if I understand, if you have explored sufficiently and enough, you should have strategies to relay information to people, because it's
But
through
it's
information.
not impossible to do that. We have enough
But
technology to do
even-
that.
even-
It's not impossible.
Even as you guys talk about what exploring is and what it's not, the problem of connectivity is not only limited to Kenya and Africa.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
think Amos and I have been to Germany.
Germany. Once you move outside the town-
once you move out of town,
Yeah, you
your
lose
internet
connection.
is kaput. It
Yeah.
remains red.
Yeah.
So in fact, our internet is way better than.
Yeah, it's very accessible. You can,
Yeah.
even in Masai Mara at the
Yeah.
center, you can have access to
You will
internet.
have access
We
to
have not
internet.
explored sufficiently. Going back to the
Exploring. Use a different term.
So you need to go back.
you to use a
But
different
you to
term.
No.
use a different term.
Where I can agree with you, where I can agree with Elias, was this issue of let's say exploring the depths of the oceans. But I don't think that there's so much to get there. But in terms of just, exploring is more about going to discover things, yeah?
Yes.
So if there's a village in Kibwezi that does not receive internet, what
Do you
is
mean
it-
somebody has not gone there to discover what is the problem? These
We don't need
people
to explore. We don't need to
have
explore.
not-
What
is
what is
exploration?
exploration?
Exploration is a quest to go and find something new.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's no.
Why?
So,
And the
because-
fact that there
because
is no
let me ask.
the
Let me
fact
ask.
that
Let me
There's
ask.
no internet. People have not explored that.
It's not exploring. Yeah,
What
it's not
is it?
exploring, but
How
what
would
is
you call
happening?
it?
What is happening is this one.
No.
putting it- let me-
how
let me-
do you call it?
let-
No,
let
when
me-
this
let me-
colonialist
let me
came
respond.
in. No.
Let me
When
respond.
this colonialist came in,
Let me
areas,
respond.
What were they coming to
They
do?
were coming to
To
explore.
explore.
That is exploring now. That's exploring.
So
For them,
it
they-
means we knew
Even-
nothing.
Yes.
For them, it was exploring because they had never come to this
And they
continent.
found out that
Yeah?
Africans don't have information. So
Yeah.
the first thing was
And they came to learn.
information.
They came to learn about our
Yes.
culture, our
Yes.
continent.
Le-
But
le-
but the
le-
village
So
in
does
Kibwezi,
it-
what
does
needs
it mean when I'm leaving here to go to Japan where I've never been,
Yeah.
I'm going to explore?
as an individual, if that is your quest, you're going to explore. You want to go and see how these
So
people
my
are living.
question
Yeah,
is,
yeah,
you have
yeah.
internet in Kibwezi, but let's
This
talk
have
is
about
internet
question for another. this
No,
is
let
question for another
me
day.
respond.
No.
It's just one two
Wait.
sentences.
Yeah,
Just
give
two,
him a
just two,
chance
just
to
two, just two,
respond.
just two.
Yeah.
So what needs to be done in Kibwezi?
Yeah.
First of all, the reason why there's
And
no
I'm not
internet.
only talking about Kibwezi.
Okay, I'm
some
just
other-
responding
Yeah,
to make sure that I clarify my
yeah,
records.
in that context.
Yeah. In Kibwezi, what needs to be done is, first of all, there's aspect of business. Internet is all about business. If there's no good business there, that means the reason why Safaricom or other ISPs,
Providers.
they have not provided internet
So
there.
which means we have not explored the business opportunities in Kibwezi.
Yes.
No, it's not about a fact of not exploring.
Yeah.
If somebody's not buying what you're selling, yeah.
You explore something else.
Does it
It's not
mean
about
people
exploring.
in
You go
Kibwezi-
So Amos, you can finish your exploration and then we come back to.
We come back to STEM courses.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
have deviated.
Yeah, a bit, yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
part of conversation.
It's part of the conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if these ISPs they find a reasonable, they find a good reason to go and invest there, they'll go and invest it. Yeah, it's a matter of investment. You cannot just take if somebody is not buying your products, don't take it to them. Take it to the ones who are buying the products. So it's not that it's an explode.
I
Yeah,
don't agree
yeah.
with you anyway.
Anyway-
on that, because
anyway,
you
but I'm
can't-
clear.
You can't tell
Yeah.
me the people in Kibwezi don't communicate. They don't need to communicate because, as far as I know, those people there, they go somewhere where there is internet to communicate. So there's opportunity.
But can you agree on one thing? These areas are sparsely populated.
They're sparsely populated, but it doesn't mean there are no opportunities there. There are still opportunities there.
Business opportunities for such companies, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people communicate. of
People
course.
communicate, but
And,
if there are only 5 people
let's
communicating,
come back
People
to
need
the-
it.
and a booster is costing millions of shillings.
Let me come back
Let's come
to,
to the
Yeah,
conversation.
okay.
to the conversation
Yeah.
we are having.
Yeah.
So the reason why I deviated was just to inform Elias that giving information to people to take these STEM courses is a collective responsibility, but more largely dependent on how the government of the day is doing things. If the government is not supportive, then we as study, for example, we can have good faith in maybe educating these people, or rather students, to take these STEM courses. But how much can we go, or how far can we
Yeah,
go?
we don't have
If-
companies
if-
for them. You
yes,
see?
if,
Yeah.
if the government cannot create a conducive environment and opportunities for these people to go work there after these STEM courses,
Yeah.
because someone will tell you, my brother is an engineer, he's just idling in the village, nowhere to
Selling mangoes and
selling
sugar
mangoes
cane.
and eggs.
Yeah.
And so that is the problem. So, but I think if you look well into these countries that are doing well in these STEM courses, the likes of Singapore you mentioned, the likes
China.
of China, I think people are getting information, first-hand information, and the government is very supportive.
Very.
Because when the government is supporting an idea or something, the probability that it will succeed is a bit higher than if we leave this to individual people who will just go and advise someone,
Yeah.
you can take these courses, you can take computer science. So then coming back to your question now, you said if someone is doing coding, for example, let me use coding, where are they going if ChatGPT, or rather for that matter, this Cloud 3 is going to produce and by the way, they are saying Cloud 3 is producing the best and accurate, let me not say the best, but more accurate results as compared to even GPT-4. So because they have this Opus model that is even more powerful, in fact, you can't compare it to ChatGPT-4. So the thing is, to me, my understanding would be somebody who is taking like computer science, because I know computer science is more lined into that coding thing, they will need to work hand in hand with this AI tech, because this is my thinking.
Yeah.
Chat GP or AI cannot work in isolation. That is my thinking. That it will need also experts who can also help it do some things, and these experts, though they might rely on the AI information, but there are things that they will need to do on the back end or behind the scenes that will help support this AI tech. So such people are the people we need, because when AI comes in with that tech, it will need people who are conversant and who can use that tech. And I want to discourage, although let me not say your mentality or of saying these courses are difficult and hard, because you remember we said we need to change the way in which we are administering our courses, such that a teacher should know how to use a computer. So if we tell a teacher that using a computer is difficult, then they might not even also work with this AI. And where we are going, these teachers will need to work hand in hand with AI for us to realize maybe results, so that we are not we don't remain where we were maybe 3 years when other people are advancing to other levels.
So I think you've introduced a very important part of the conversation, which I was asking myself off the camera. Do we know how to use AI?
First of all, I haven't answered the question yet.
You will come to answer.
You'll ask the question later.
Okay, you can.
Let me respond. I'll forget.
You can respond.
What are you answering?
We're talking about the courses of tomorrow.
Courses of tomorrow. But I was to come to that, but anyway, you can proceed.
And
So is it a valid dream for someone to start dreaming about becoming a computer scientist? Yeah, for me, I believe like at the moment we still need computer scientists. We still need them. I think even in the future we'll still need the computer scientists. So what might happen in the future is that their roles are going to change. But having them in the job market is still going to be very important.
Relevant.
Yeah, it's very important. Yeah. So perhaps in that respect, let me just give us a small background of how this AI works. The AI models work. So the AI models, as you just hear, I've just started from that term AI model. These are just models which have been built, which mimic human behavior, and they have been able to understand the human language. So you'll hear somebody saying about natural language processing. So they have been able to process this natural language that we speak and understood how we communicate and what we mean by certain words. So these models, the way they've been built, they're not autonomous. They don't have a life of their own. Yeah. So it's somebody to sit down, or a group of people to sit down to start deciding on the parameters they're going to use in this to build up this model. So the model itself, it has been designed by humans, by people who have sat down and developed that model, which now, after training it using data, so they feed it information from the real world to tell that, to teach it to make it know that if somebody says hello, the response is supposed to give is hello. Yeah, as a communication. So as with time, with more data, this model now comes to understand, or it comes to make connections. Not understanding, actually, it just makes connections between words. So whenever it's giving you responses, these are just words which have been predicted, with a high level of accuracy, based on how we have been communicating as humans. So in the bottom line is this, that AI models do not have a life of their own, so they cannot go out there and make decisions and decide and say like, okay, I see there's a road here. Let's say like I see there's a hill here which is blocking my passage, and then just remove it. They don't think like that. They just understand our language and how we speak. So in that respect, it means that it is not possible for these models to just go and decide and just take away jobs. It's upon people to sit down and design models that can be able to perform particular tasks that people do. So for us to achieve that model that can be an entity of its own, think on its own, we are still to go over some certain hurdles to arrive at that point. So that means that courses like computer science, in as much as we are going to have challenges in terms of like, okay, computers can generate codes. Yes, they can generate codes, but it's upon a human being to tell this computer that I want a particular code,
exactly.
so that it can give me and I can use it. So we'll need the computer scientists. So, but for me, I think will not need them as many as we need them right now. In the future, they'll be much less, because now the computer will be assisting you in most of the works. So the courses that I believe that are going to be very, very important, computer science is going to be important, but don't invest so much. Don't in terms of human capital. Let's just have a sizable human capital in that one. But courses like computer engineering, we need more capital there. Computer engineering, we need more capital there. So courses like data scientists, we need more data scientists. We need also mathematicians, a lot of mathematicians. Software engineering. Yes, we do need those ones, because to put the layers on top of the models which can now interact with humans. Also, we need just normal engineers. We need normal engineers also.
I think we also need cybersecurity experts.
Very, very important.
Because cybersecurity experts are the ones who will be able to counter this model. Someone was also talking about having a ethics policy analyst that will be able to kind of, can I say, put guardrails or measures to limit this AI, so that it
aligns,
operates or it aligns with certain ethical behaviors that we need in a society. So I think what might be a threat is routine. If you are doing a routine job, something like, especially I'm worried of these manufacturing industries, people who do routine tasks, like your work is to carry this glass, put it here, or to put this glass and to pack this glass. So those are the people I totally don't think they be anywhere in the market. So routine jobs, experts, if you are an expert in routine job, a job that has been, because as you said, AI model is working based on the information fed, and it can work even much better, especially with routine tasks, because you only have to give it the information, and it knows this is a routine job, I'm supposed to do this and do this. Because if you look at these tech companies that create vehicles, you see how those robotic equipments work. You'll find a robot just knows it's a routine task. We are developing a Subaru. My work is to fix the light in a certain place. So it's a routine job. So you can't say you are employing someone to do that when
but that one is already replaced. So
that is already replaced.
So let's see. Let's just take our example as data analysts. Okay. We do routine tasks of you import data, you clean it, you manipulate a little bit, you do what we call engineering, you add some more variables, and then before you start the analysis process,
you manage the data.
If you're developing any visualizations, and then let's say you do reports on monthly basis, isn't that a routine task?
And actually data analysis has been threatened by this AI thing.
Completely.
AI is able to collect information and even analyze it much better. Because you see things like you've heard of Gamma. Gamma is doing very nice presentations. It's using ChatGPT systems and to bring out very nice presentations. Something like Gamma, something like you've heard of Numerous AI.
No.
I've heard of Tome.
Yeah, there's also Numerous AI. Numerous AI can give you all the formulas you want to do something. So you see, the job like a data analyst who is just taking data, analyze, produce monthly reports, we are completely threatened. And
And for me, I believe data analysts should try to upscale their knowledge.
So these are the areas we're saying we must upscale.
That one is a must. That
you-
you cannot if you're a data analyst and you just thrive on, let's say, just doing analysis, both inferential and descriptive, kindly upscale. Because now all what you do, AI can do.
yes,
It can do.
This thing people keep on talking about market research.
Yeah.
AI is going to do market research even more perfect than how a
human being,
human
and the budget will be completely down. So
yeah.
now you listen to so much, you read so much online, you realize in some way the jobs that exist currently, accounting,
yeah,
someone
it's-
is saying
You should not study that.
you should not study that.
Yeah.
But you see, even if you look at our universities, so many people go into accounting.
And that's because of they lack that proper information.
No.
Yeah.
Now, what we're saying is, can an accountant work alongside AI that they are not necessarily replaced? This is what we're saying, AI proficient experts. An expert in accounting, but as well, so that people are not scared. How many accountants do we have currently? If people are scared that my job will go, and then, so what? What we're saying is, if you are AI proficient, if you can tell us, you as an accountant, first of all, how can you use AI to do your own work? Not that AI is coming to do your work, but you as a human being, you are using AI to do your work. You as a data analyst, you are thinking of, we are talking of upscaling, and of course learning about AI is part of upscaling if you're in these fields. If you know how to use ChatGPT or any other AI tool to produce analysis, and then you know how to use that to interpret to the management team or to run your own organization, then we're saying you are AI proficient, and therefore you're working alongside it. But if you don't know how this thing works, then it leaves you with the only option of someone can easily install an AI tool in their computer, and you don't have a role in that organization anymore.
But Elias, you have to also be sincere with ourselves. When changes come, sometimes they don't necessarily come to bring benefits to everybody.
Yeah.
Some people are going to
It has
suffer.
already been suggested 45% of jobs will go away.
Yeah, it's a real threat.
Actually,
Because it's something kidogo tu. Yeah. Oh, I've spoken in Swahili. I love Swahili. So what I'm saying is this. I just wanted to give you an example.
Yeah.
Jobs like customer care, they're going to be completely replaced.
Yeah.
So you're trying to bring that argument that they can work alongside AI. So there are jobs that I can tell you that you can work alongside AI, but there are jobs I am telling you
Completely.
they are going to be completely replaced.
Yeah.
Because when you bring AI to customer care, when you're having conversation with that AI,
yeah.
it's not like the ones which you used to have previously, which were pre-programmed. Yeah, this one now it understands you
Yes.
with your specific problems, and that's what a human customer care does.
Does.
So there's nothing like working alongside here. You can say like we have this customer care individual who is going to be monitoring this now. What this AI is saying,
Yeah.
because already AI understands everything and does it well. So technically, this occupation, just put it aside. It's already gone. Yeah. Same thing to accounting. Accounting is more of bookkeeping. Yeah.
Is what we are talking about routine.
It's a routine.
It's
Yeah.
a routine
task.
task.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
come back to that.
Yeah. You're saying something.
So I was saying accounting, according to how Elias is saying, if you look into accounting keenly, you'll find that accounting is a routine task. And anything routine task, I can do it even much better.
Yeah.
Because for a routine task, if even the experts who are developing, you just need to feed it with the information that we need this one to be done like this, and it will do. So there are very few things like I saw some information from Sam Altman talking about something like law, and where he said that AI can generate very good information on law. So what lawyers or people who in jurisprudence should do is to find a way on how they can interact more with human beings to understand their issues, rather than those routine things they just do in
writing case files.
Writing case files, because AI can do it not just efficiently but accurately. So to me, there are so many tasks that AI will take over.
Yeah.
But again, there are those areas that will need AI and a human being to work hand in hand.
Yeah.
So for instance, here we're saying our positions, roles as data analysts, if we are not advancing in the next 2 years,
You're gone.
you're going to be jobless.
Yeah, that's
the
that's a
same
fact.
thing we're trying to tell the accountants. Once your boss realizes that he or she can have a tool, a machine that can do that job, that maybe you have 50 accountants in your company, they will use that because it's cheaper. So maybe you'll go on demonstrations the way we saw in the tea industry, people going on demonstrations.
The
and all
tea
those
industry
things.
is long time ago. We had demos in the US when they were demonstrating about writing articles. We had this company like Microsoft,
Yeah.
the Bing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the articles are being written by AI. Yeah, so they were demonstrating about that one. Also, artists.
Yeah,
They were saying now the
in
mid
the
journeys.
newsrooms, writing news.
Writing new.
Yeah. So even nowadays, someone was saying even the writing newspapers. Nowadays, you find everything online. Twitter is giving information every day for free.
Yeah.
Now I go open an article by New York Times. They're telling me you pay us $5 before you read this article. So it becomes really hard for me to give you my card number so that you deduct $5 when I can actually get the information for free.
Exactly.
Right now, information is readily available.
It's decentralized.
If,
It's everywhere.
If your position forces someone to pay before they can access information,
Yeah, you can keep it.
You think about your position as well.
There is a journalist in Germany called Dofner, someone. He works for this, is it called Springer journalist media company?
Spring is also a journal.
It's a publishing company.
Publishing company.
He was saying the job of journalists is going to go. What journalists need to do, they need maybe to rely so much on these commentary things and maybe exclusive way of grasping stories that cannot be captured by AI. So that means you become very creative to come up with a story that you think AI cannot generate, because if it's a matter of creating news, it seems AI can do it better.
Yeah.
So to me, something like journalism, people need to up their game. But I found out a contrary opinion on teachers. Although we said teachers' jobs are at risk, but I think to some extent teachers might remain.
I also thought about it deeply, and I think teachers, nurses, anyone who kind of works in some sort of caring or in imparting knowledge into a fellow human being, it looks like that human connection will still be very important. Like caregiving. Caregiving, you can't employ a machine to. Of course, you can employ a machine to
massage.
But the human connection bit will be very important.
The human connection is something that we always want to have. But I think also we need to be cautious of the times that we're living in. Because of the many developments that have been happening of late, we are slowly getting accustomed to a life which is less human connected.
Yeah,
if you haven't
true.
realized, yeah,
That's very true.
Yeah,
That's very true.
so you'll find also you'll start finding some people. Nowadays it's very common to find somebody who says, "I don't like people."
Yeah.
It's very common to find such people. Yeah.
So we are slowly becoming antisocial.
We are slowly becoming antisocial.
You're stressed.
Yeah.
Instead of looking for a therapist, you seek gratification from online communities.
Yeah.
We have TikTok where people just assemble and live TikTok.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
You talk there and you
Yeah.
think your issues are gone. So
Yeah.
it's quite a problem.
It's quite a problem, and this problem now, it will become an opportunity, for the developers of this technology, because they are seeing that now that people are less connected to other people, then we can bring something inside here, which now they'll be these people who are isolated will be comfortable living with. So I think like now that they are focusing so much like the robotics, you're seeing that they want to create these humanoids. Okay, and they want some of these humans to be companions. Like, why are we looking for robotic companions, and yet we have humans amongst us? Like, why can't we just be companions of each other?
What's new that this robot will bring that I can't find in a human being?
So the new thing that the robot will bring is that it's programmable. So there are things you can tell it not to tell you. It's not like a human being. And also you can switch it off if you don't want to talk to it.
Yeah, you remember this a while ago, this
like
Samantha thing.
Yeah.
It's like switching off your wife.
You can just switch off.
I don't know if we still have some time.
Yeah.
Or should we finish the conversation?
So for me, I believe. I've also had the conversations, the conversations that Jensen has done in many occasions, and also I've also heard from Andrew. Is it Andrew? Whichever. Andrew NG. I've heard from Andrew. I've heard from also Harari. This is also Harari, a very famous author. I've also heard from who else is a proponent of AI. There are very many proponents of AI. Okay, Harari is not a proponent. But we are saying that we are going to have a situation where humans are going to work alongside AI, of which it's going to be. It sounds, for me, I think it sounds sort of like a utopian world, and also because I see that it's going to be a world of sufficiency, because now people will be able to do a lot of things much faster. With this AI. So we are going to accomplish more. The same way when we had this agrarian revolution. Before that we used to do less with land.
So much time
but now we do more. Even the industrial revolution even took the production even further. But now the underlying things that we are yet to discuss, like the aspect of now human connections, because a country like Japan. I have had it starting making headlines now, but for me it was making headlines in my mind even years back, even before COVID. And I was telling people, country like Japan, it's heading a very terrible direction, because now people are becoming less and less connected to other people,
and then their population is also reducing. They're not giving birth enough.
I had for every one child, for every one child who is born, 2 people are dying. So if you look at that one and you see the population of Japanese is mostly elderly,
within 20 years
it will be problematic.
It will not have a population.
So before I finish, is no. So my concern is this one. I think naturally we just move forward without thinking so much about many things that are happening in society, and I think AI we are not thinking of it completely through, because when you're talking about working alongside AI, do you know that at the same time when you're working alongside AI, we are making AI more powerful as it goes, more knowledgeable. So there reaches a time where all the jobs that we can say right now are going to be working alongside AI will be completely absorbed by AI.
Okay.
So we need to. I think for me, we need to sit down. We need to discuss this thing clearly, understanding all the different dynamics of this AI. Let us not just brush it off and say, "Oh, okay, it's going to replace the routine jobs." What if we were able to make to come across an innovation which is going to make these AIs more dynamic? Because now they're static. If they become dynamic, it's going to be a problem.
It's no longer about routine, but
it's any new thing that comes. It's going to do it. So that's why I think we're going to have challenges.
Okay. Any time remaining?
Yeah, we still it's still were.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Stana, you can say something, and then maybe we
and then you
conclude.
will wind up. So I think, I don't know what post AI will look like.
Yeah.
Because if we are completely becoming living in isolation, like we don't have human interaction, I think maybe in future we will be having even more problems anyway, because I believe in human beings. Human being is a vital plays a pivotal role in the society and how things run. However, to me, I still hold the opinion that there are some things that AI might not replace completely, like creative imagination, like for people like writers. If you are a writer and you are creative,
You are a creative writer.
AI cannot take your idea and go write unless if AI will be thinking, will know Amos is thinking
Like
to
this.
write about this glass.
It's gonna predict
Then
how I think.
I don't
Okay,
think
okay,
it
we
will-
haven't-
it
we
will-
haven't
it-
reached
it-
there
it-
yet.
It will come. And will it come to that level? I don't think. Because
Never say
sometimes-
never.
Sometimes I think human beings are unique in their own way.
We are,
What you
we are.
think and what I think are completely different. So I think for these creative writers, so we need just to encourage people to do things like creative writing, maybe these creative tasks, and maybe have talents also.
Yeah.
Well, how about
Develop,
what
uh,
Jensen
Yeah.
suggested, farming?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so actually, I was to respond to that one actually the time you mentioned it, because Jensen is talking about going to farming. Hassabis is also talking about doing things like plumbing.
So farming, handwork.
Yeah. So there's something that I think I was also very shocked when I heard those people saying that, because it's like even then themselves they don't understand what they're doing, because when you're talking about farming, us going to do farming, but you're developing AI. This AI, if we are able to put this power into a machine, it's going to do the farming for us. So like, what are you talking about? Tell me,
Already
help
machines are
me
doing
understand.
farming.
'Cause I don't understand what you're saying. Because it's going literally. If you see in India, they have also started doing that. They also started to use AI in their farms. So AI is able to go to the farms to scan the farms to see to scan for potential pests and diseases. Also harvesting, it's very good at that, identifying which fruits are ripe, which are not. Very good at that. Yeah. So it's going to do all that work for us. So I think that's why I'm saying that we need to have a discussion, because I think even the tech people, the ones who are developing this technology, they don't have a full understanding of what they are saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
from at my level, I would say, in whichever position you are, there
Yeah.
are those jobs that we can already tell these ones will
Yeah.
be gone.
This one's
But we have others that are still not clear, like
Yeah.
doctors,
Yeah.
nurses, the way we're saying,
Yeah. It will take time. It will
discovery
take
of,
time.
of
medicine. Yeah.
If you are in those jobs that you think are safe,
Yeah.
what we would encourage is you make sure you're upscaling so that you are facilitating in that research of AI in that particular industry
Area.
or field. If let's say statisticians, the way we're saying data analysis will be gone, we are the people who need to, and it's good that we've already started this, we're helping in research of how does this model work? How does this machine learning model work? How does
Yeah.
AI work?
Yeah.
We still have some gaps in AI at the moment. We talked of bias. We talked of
We have so many problems, hallucination
and
problems,
then,
alignment
alignment problems.
Yeah,
So
creativity,
if we
common
are
sense.
upscaling to support in this research,
Yeah.
then that puts us somewhere.
Actually,
in-
AI research is one of the most attractive things to do right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
that one is very, very
Yeah,
attractive.
yeah. So
Yeah.
for those of us who are in data, just like us,
Yeah.
let's put our heads together to do
Yeah.
these AI research, and particularly to solve the local
Problems.
because every country is thinking in their own context.
Yeah.
When I'm talking about Singapore, that $1 billion is not for world, but
For Singapore alone. Yeah.
They are thinking of educating people for Singapore, not for some Kenya or any other African country. So,
For me, before Elias, you wind up the conversation. I think my concern is so much about the Kenyan government. I believe the Kenyan government is quite asleep on this matter,
Yeah.
and it's an embarrassment for me seeing country not investing its effort and time to ensure that the country is abreast as far as AI is concerned. We have a problem as a country. Legislation, I have not seen any legislation going on regarding AI. I don't know if the government is just sticking their head in the sand and saying that this problem will just disappear. AI will not disappear. In fact, it's going stronger. So it's high time for the government now to make this a sitting room discussion to make sure that now the parliament is discussing this and we are putting up measures to ensure that this AI is used well, and also we are preparing our people, the entire country, our citizens. They have to be prepared prepared for this revolution that is coming, or which is already here now. Yeah, to make sure that education still maintains its pristine value, and also education is current and also futuristic. We see where we are headed.
Yeah.
It is time for the government to start being serious about this AI. Otherwise, we are going to be left behind, and we are going to suffer as we have always been suffering. We should not even be discussing so much about things like okay, I know they're important, like things like housing. They are very important, I know. Yeah, but this is not something that we should be debating as a country so much. We should be debating about how we are standing as a country and the future of this country.
To counter even that AI.
Yeah, because it's going to be very problematic for us to catch up with these people. Let's say, like, if you start discussing to catch up the world, if you start discussing about AI in 5 years' time, that will be too late.
It will be too late.
It will be too late.
Even 2 years, it will be too
Even
late.
2 years is already too late. Even right now, we are late to this discussion. We need to our legislatures. They need to wake up. Politicians need to wake up. Stop arguing about your local politics. Stop fighting about some petty politics at your places, at your constituents. Let us now be serious about the future of this country, because we are not positioned well as far as the future of the world is concerned. We are so much behind, and there is less being done. Because you can go even to the villages, even not even the villages, even in this building alone. If you go and ask people, have you heard of ChatGPT? Have you heard about AI? You'll find a good number of people, they have never heard of
don't
it.
know.
Yeah. And their jobs are the ones which are at risk, and they don't know about these things. Yeah. So it needs to be brought to people's attention, and the government has to be serious in putting up measures to ensure that the country is protected, is safe.
Still blinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Stanley, you have last words?
Yeah, I think what Amos has said is true to me, because we cannot be talking in this era about creating jobs for people to go and construct houses, and then you think, for how long? I don't know. For how long can you build this building?
Yeah.
To maintain your job.
Yeah.
and yet we are discussing here about how AI is going to impact us. It's somehow funny when you also hear people who are in leadership saying you can just go to a computer and scroll,
But maybe they are not informed.
And make money.
You make money, not knowing how where we are headed. I don't, this thing of government not being informed, I don't like saying that, because the government should be informed. The work of government is to get information. Government has machinery. Government has experts. I believe, I don't know if we have, but I believe
they should
government
have.
should have
Yeah,
experts.
yeah.
Should have DCIs who know what is happening in another country.
Even the NIS.
The NIS. So I think government is equipped and have information. It's only that they don't want to act. And they think this is just maybe something, a joke, like, until when it lands, that's when we